Welcome back, Bible Reading Club kids, to another explainer. So today we're opening up our Bibles to Revelation chapter 8. And wow, let me tell you, we are in for an incredibly dramatic, totally sensory journey. I mean, we're talking about hearing thunder, seeing fire literally falling from the sky, and watching massive mountains crashing right into the sea. But, before all of that unbelievable action kicks off, the chapter actually starts in a way you probably wouldn't expect.
Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to just imagine the absolute loudest, busiest, most glorious place you can possibly think of, right? That's heaven. You've got angels singing, glorious creatures praising God just constantly, day and night. But what happens when all of that suddenly stops? When that mysterious seventh seal is finally opened by the Lamb?
Section 1. The Great Silence, the opening of the seventh seal.
So the text tells us that as soon as this final seal is opened, this sudden, super dramatic pause just overtakes every single corner of heaven. The singing, it stops. The movement, it stops. And looking at the number 30 here, well, the text tells us exactly how long this incredible pause lasts. It says, there was silence in heaven about the space of half an hour. I mean, just think about sitting completely still and totally quiet for the length of an entire TV episode. It builds up this massive, heavy suspense. Something huge is about to happen, and it's like all of heaven is just holding its breath waiting for it.
And then, bam! Suddenly, John sees 7 angels who stood before God, and to these specific angels, they were given 7 trumpets. You can literally almost feel the energy shifting right there. Because, trumpets in the Bible, they're used to sound alarms or to announce kings, and really just to signal that a massive, world-changing event is about to take place.
Moving on to Section 2. Prayers rising like smoke, the angel at the golden altar.
And this brilliantly illustrates what happens before those 7 angels can even blow their trumpets. Another angel steps forward to the golden altar, which is right there just before the throne of God. So let's walk through exactly what this angel does, step by step. First, the angel takes a golden censer. Now, a censer is basically a special container used for holding hot coals. Second, he's given much incense to offer with the prayers of all the saints. Now, I want to pause right here on this second step, because Bible Reading Club kids, when the text says the prayers of all saints, that actually includes you. Your very own prayers are included in this beautiful heavenly imagery rising up to God. How cool is that? Okay, third, the smoke of the incense carrying all those prayers ascends right up before God out of the angel's hand. But then we get to step 4. The angel takes that exact same censer, fills it with fire from the altar, and just casts it violently down onto the earth.
Boom. The earthly reaction is immediate, and it is intense. The very second that fire hits the earth, that half hour of silence is totally shattered. We're talking voices and thunderings and flashing lightnings and a massive earthquake just violently shaking the ground. So the suspense is officially over and the action has truly begun.
All right, Section 3. The first 2 trumpets. Fire on the earth and a mountain in the sea. So those 7 angels we talked about, they are now fully prepared to sound. But as we go through these next couple of events, I really want you to pay close attention to a special mathematical pattern that's about to pop up. You're going to hear the fraction 1/3 repeated over and over again in the text. So the crucial point here is that 1/3 is affected by these trumpet judgments. But look at how much is left over. That is 2/3. This shows us that, while these events are definitely scary, God is actually still holding back complete destruction. 2/3 are left completely safe. It's really a fraction of mercy. And then the first angel sounds. Instantly, there follows hail and fire mingled with blood, and they are just cast right down upon the earth. It is absolute chaos. And notice the specific results here. The third part of the trees is entirely burned up. But check out that last point. While only a third of the trees are gone, the text specifically says that all green grass was burnt up.
Let's move on and see how this builds when the second angel sounds. John says it was, as it were, a great mountain burning with fire, and was cast directly into the sea. I mean, the impact is just catastrophic. And, hey, there's our pattern again. The third part of the sea becomes blood. The third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life, they died. And the third part of all the ships were completely destroyed.
Here we are at Section 4, Wormwood and Dark Skies, the third and fourth trumpets.
Now, what's really interesting here is that the destruction is moving from the salty oceans to the fresh waters. And introduced right here is a strange new word, wormwood. When the third angel sounds his trumpet, a great star falls from heaven. It's burning like a lamp. And the text tells us the specific name of this star is wormwood. It falls upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of waters. So the devastating effect of this falling star is that it directly attacks the fresh, clean drinking water. Because the star itself is named wormwood, the third part of the waters actually becomes wormwood, meaning they're made incredibly bitter. And tragically, the text says that many men died of the waters because they were made so bitter and poisonous to drink. Again, exactly 1/3.
Which brings us right back to our recurring fraction visual. We've seen 1/3 of the trees, 1/3 of the sea, and 1/3 of the rivers affected. Now, when the fourth angel steps forward to blow his trumpet, that exact same fraction is going to strike the very light shining down on the earth. The fourth angel sounds, and the third part of the sun is smitten, along with a third part of the moon and a third part of the stars. It's this super eerie, kind of terrifying dimming of the entire sky. The text actually explains that a third part of them was darkened, meaning the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise lost a third of its light. I mean, just imagine the world suddenly plunging into this unusual, weird darkness for a whole third of the day.
Which leads us to Section 5, the warning of 3 woes, a message from the flying angel.
So, after the rapid-fire destruction of those first 4 trumpets, the sounding just stops. There's this moment where deep awe and a sense of impending dread kind of settles over the whole narrative. John looks up, and he beholds and he hears a single angel flying high through the midst of heaven. And let me tell you, this flying angel isn't whispering. He is crying out with an incredibly loud voice, broadcasting a major warning for all the inhabitants of the earth.
And this is exactly what the booming voice of that angel says. Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth by reason of the other voices of the trumpets of the 3 angels which are yet to sound. Notice those 3 woes? That's one for each of the 3 trumpets that are still left to blow. The angel is essentially telling the earth that, look, no matter how bad those first 4 trumpets were, the final 3, they're going to be so much worse.
Which leaves us with this massive, massive question. If the first 4 trumpets did all of this, I mean, burning trees, bloody seas, bitter waters, and a totally darkened sky, what on earth is going to happen when the final 3 sound? That is a huge mystery, and I enthusiastically challenge all of you Bible Reading Club kids to really think about that. Try to read ahead and picture it before our very next meeting. Until then, keep reading, keep asking those great questions, and I'll see you in the next explainer.